Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. We're doing something different that I haven't done yet. Kind of a vlog thing, if you want to call it. I'm gonna call it, of all things, the Dead Pixel Show. I guess it could be the Dead Pixel Show, but we'll call it the Dead Pixel Show to keep it easy. What is it gonna be, you're asking? Well, that's pretty simple. It's going to be whatever I kind of want to talk about, though it'll usually somehow be related to the video game industry, somehow, some way. Um, does it mean every topic's going to be it? No. If I get bored and want to talk about lucha wrestling, I'll get bored and talk about lucha wrestling. It's my camera, and if I put it on my YouTube account, I can do anything I want. Somehow I'm allowed to get away with that. To a point. I guess, I can't go walking around nude on the camera. YouTube probably wouldn't be happy with it, nor would many people out on the internet, so I don't think I'm going to do that. So, let's discuss some gaming news. First, let's talk about Kiefer Sutherland because, well, he's amazing. He's loved by Americans, and we consider him our great American, yet he is a Canadian actor, I'm pretty sure. I guess I could double check my sources on that, but I'm just gonna roll with that I'm pretty sure he's Canadian, which still kind of upset about that. They beat us in hockey in the Olympics. A little bit, though, I mean, I guess I kind of expected it. Anyways, let's go back to the news about the video game things, right? That's why you're caring any little bit. So Kiefer Sutherland apparently has just announced that he's worked somewhat on a Mortal Kombat game. What voice is he doing? Don't know. He hasn't, I don't believe he said that, if he's doing any, specific voiceover, though. He is now doing Snake for Metal Gear Solid, 5, which I believe have two titles, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So he's in two video games there. So we'll have to see what is going to come out in the Mortal Kombat world. Sutherland is doing voice acting for this Mortal Kombat game. We don't know what he's doing it for, what character, or if hell, he could be the narrator as far as we know. But I believe they've been talking about wanting to do a Mortal Kombat movie. Now, if they're doing a Mortal Kombat movie, and Kiefer Sutherland happens to be in it, and he's also voicing a character in the game, that could be pretty big. You gotta wonder who is he gonna be. Is he gonna be Raiden, Sub-Zero, Scorpion? I'm gonna hope that he's everybody. I want a whole movie of Mortal Kombat based only with Kiefer Sutherland doing everything. I think that's the best. Now, I also need him to direct and probably produce. Just give Kiefer Sutherland a freaking giant crew, people to work with, in terms of makeup artists, and all that, but let him star in every role possible. That's what I'm gonna hope for. So let's hope that's how the movie goes, as well as the game, really. I hope it's Kiefer Sutherland v. Kiefer Sutherland. That's all I want to see. Alright, so we got the whole Kiefer Sutherland thing out of there. Let's talk about a little other news in the video game industry. Let's talk about Gearbox going on a suit. Well, filing a suit, I guess, is the best way to put it. They're not actually wearing a suit. I don't think a company itself could wear a suit. Nonetheless, I'm just rambling on a random tangent now, aren't I? Now, who are they filing a suit against? Well, it would be none other than 3D Realms and Interceptor Entertainment. Now, I think that's really mostly against 3D Realms from how I understand it. I believe 3D Realms looks like they're trying to say they're publishing a new Duke Nukem game, which, from my understanding, they sold all the rights to that IP to Gearbox. Now, Gearbox then should own everything to it that I could comprehend. I don't know law. I didn't go become a lawyer or anything, but from my understanding, Gearbox owns Duke Nukem now. So if 3D Realms is trying to say, hey, we made a new Duke Nukem game, not the smartest thing to do. I would suggest against that. Also, is anybody actually clamoring for a new Duke Nukem game? So we got Duke Nukem Forever. It only took 20 years. Not really 20 years, but it did feel like that. It was over a decade. So over a decade it takes for them to get us Duke Nukem Forever. And then it comes out, and you knew Gearbox just was like, we have to finish this damn game. And they did. And you know what? It was an okay game. It was not special. It wasn't good. But in terms of like, if it was in the $5 bargain bin at, whatever game store you shop at, or freaking Steam's got an insane sale on it, and you're bored, it passed. It worked. It wasn't anything great. It wasn't horrible, but you could tell Gearbox was like, look, we just have to get this damn game out and get people over it, get past it, maybe try again. Nonetheless, who's sitting there going like, man, I want Duke Nukem. Why is 3D Realms even trying? Just let it go. Let Gearbox give it a shot. At least we know they have the ability to make good games. So let's see what they do. Maybe we'll get a good Duke Nukem game. Maybe not. Maybe they'll constantly be filing suit against each other and we'll never get another one until 2 decades from now. And it will suck. Because it'll be what we'd expect a game to be today, not what we expect a game to be in 20 years. Just like what happened with Duke Nukem Forever. So, let's see how that goes. Also in news, it looks like Sony is trying to get in on what Oculus Rift's doing. Well, at least there is alleged reports that they're going to come after them. Sony may be showing off their version of a VR headset in March for GDC this year. Now, I get that it's a cool idea. Oculus Rift has gotten good reviews. Developers like it. People have had fun with it. To me personally, I'm not excited at all by these things. And that's because I don't want things over my heads making me look like a freaking moron when I play my games. I just kind of want to sit on my couch, turn on my Xbox, turn on my PS4, turn on the Wii, whatever I want to do. Hell, I go find an old school Atari and turn it on. I'll connect it to TV if I can. I just want to hang out, you know? If you have friends hanging out, you want them to come over and do it. Now, I get that we don't have to do it as much as it used to. Obviously, back when I was a kid, a decade ago, when I was going through high school, if I wanted to play with friends, you went over to the houses. You didn't really have, Xbox Live or the Sony network or anything. Everybody came over, so you'd have a bunch, maybe consoles and TVs hooked up, and you'd be doing a LAN party, or hell, dear God, if you wanted to do a LAN party with computers, you'd have a freaking just basement full of kids with giant desktops and monitors. And we had the big, bulky monitors too, not the nice, thin, 2-pound ones. We had the ones that were like 20 pounds and you're holding a desktop with and you're just kind of waddling through. There's Mountain Dew everywhere because, dear God, if you had a LAN party and not Mountain Dew, world's going over. Anyways, back to the whole story about Sony getting on this. I don't know how I feel about it. Competition's always good, and you want to see things keep going after. You want to see the market keep thriving to grow and expand and people to get in it and everything. Obviously, I don't think anybody major big is behind Oculus Rift in the sense I don't think it's, Microsoft or Sony, or obviously it's not Sony or Nintendo. It's not them making Oculus Rift, so they're kind of like the indie guys, and so I would want them to succeed. You want the new guys to come in. You want the guys that are the small time coming in with a new idea to be the ones to succeed. Especially if they're the first ones now really getting on this. Obviously, Nintendo tried this in the 90s, and it was horrible. Technology's, greatly improved since then, so you probably won't have to do anything that blows your eyes out and gives you an insane migraine to play 10 minutes of a video game. Nonetheless, personally, I'm not excited right now. Maybe this will become something that I'll start using and I'll be like, you know what, game changer, love it, all about the Rifts and throwing goggles over my face to play video games. I haven't done it since the 90s with a horrible Nintendo attempt at this when it, blew my mind apart. So we'll have to see. Maybe there's something new to this. So that's news. See what GDC's got. GDC is always cool to go, and if you ever are able to go to GDC, it's really nice to go. It's about a week long, and I would definitely say if you haven't been to GDC, it's really cool to go. It's more for the industry people. If you're work in the industry, if you do anything in the industry, a good way. You got some little workshops, and you can learn a lot of things. At the same time, if you're just a fan, it's nice to go around and mingle with people. Obviously, it makes more sense for the people in the industry. You're trying to network out, make new contacts. Hopefully, if you get, need to leave a job you have another job lined up because a contact type of deal. If you're just a fan and you like to play games, check it out if you're around there. Obviously, the E3 was the big thing for announcing the games and stuff, and that's just been kind of taken over. It's not nearly as good, and I would say E3, some of the spirits gone into GDC, which is kind of awkward because that's not really what GDC was supposed to be, but it kind of is now, so, make it what you will. Also, let's talk about Wolfenstein New Order, and why am I talking about that? Well, it might be a good game, it might not, I don't know. I haven't seen anything really about it. But, if you pre-order it, big news for that, Doom 4, which is now just called Doom, are they rebooting it? Don't know. You get that if you pre-order Wolfenstein the New Order. I'm tempted to now pre-order the game. I was kind of on the fence about if I wanted this game or not, and I still kind of am on the fence. And it drives me insane when they tease me to get a game because they're like, you want to try a game early? Buy this other game. It's mean, and they do that on purpose, and I'm not stupid, nor are you. You comprehend out there. You're sitting there like, clearly, it's the same thing for me, man. I know. It drives me insane that they do this, but they do. What are you going to do about it, right? So, I want to play that game. I want to try the new Doom. I've always had fun with Doom. I remember the first Doom way back when, I was a kid. I was actually my older cousin had it on a laptop that was, incredibly thick. Today's standards, at least. Back then, it was probably the thinnest damn notebook you could get. And I remember he was playing Doom on it. That was the first time I saw Doom. And I was like, I'm a little kid, and I'm like, damn, son, that's pretty crazy looking. And it looked fun. And I was like, let's go shoot a demon in the face with a shotgun. Let's do this thing. So, always enjoyed that world. Obviously, Doom 3, if I remember correctly, came out in the early to mid 2000, like 2004-ish, 2003, 2004. I remember that. I had that game. I actually had built a computer, and I believe I got that game for free because of the motherboard, or how if you order a part, they're like, we'll throw in a game to make you order it. And I think I even got Half-Life 2. So that was pretty sweet. But I do remember having fun with that. So I definitely want to see where this is going to go. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's awesome Doom. Hopefully it's not kind of bad like the movie. The movie, Doom, not that great. It's got The Rock and Carl Urban in it, which is off the chain, if you want to call it. Carl Urban's awesome. Dread. Now he's an Almost Human. Enjoy it. Always want to see Carl Urban. Love The Rock. Movie's not good. So hopefully the game's good. Okay, so we got some news in, right? We talked about a few things. You learned a little about what's happening in the world. So let's talk about a few games coming out. First, we got Thief. That's coming out on the 25th, as is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. And as is the new Donkey Kong game that came out for the Wii U. I haven't played, obviously, either three of them yet. The Donkey Kong game is just came out. The Castlevania 2 and Thief, those are coming out in just a few days. So that's pretty cool. Those are the games that I'm looking forward to. What games are you looking forward to? I'm sure there's plenty more. I'm certain there is. So tell me what you're interested in. What is something, the big thing you're looking for? Like I said, Thief, Castlevania 2, Donkey Kong game for the Wii U, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for the Wii U. Excited for that. Want to see where they're going to go with these. Kind of sucks that the Wii U's been selling so slowly, because these type of games are probably going to get missed, it's sad. But they deserved it because they built a great system on the Wii. Fun, great system. So were the 360 and the PS3. Like, don't get me wrong, much more powerful, more game machines than the Nintendo Wii. But the Wii was new with the whole controller and everything, but the problem with that was then they got lazy and let a bunch of bad games come out, and then everybody got the notion of Nintendo games are cheap and lazily built, which sucks, because I remember in the 90s, they had the seal of approval on the games. If you wanted to put a game out on the Nintendo, on the Super Nintendo, it had to, be good, or at least attempt, it had to have something to it, some flair. Hell, Cool Spot, a game that was just like, hey, we took the 7-Up mascot, we made a game, was a fun game. I played it a lot as a kid. You cannot tell me Nintendo would be capable of letting that happen again. If they did that again, if they were like, hey, 7-Up, take your old ass logo and make it a video game, it would be horrible, and Nintendo wouldn't care. They'd just be like, whatever, give us the money. Thus, the Wii U sales are slow. Anyways, that was the Dead Pixel Show. That was everything I wanted to talk about with you. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So, if you did enjoy it, comment, like, subscribe, all those good and great things. I do always appreciate it. I'm going to keep trying to do these once a week, sometime around the weekend from now on. Can't always promise I'll be spot on Saturday or Sunday, however I end up doing this. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get on the schedule, keep doing these, and hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we'll keep enjoying it. We'll talk a little about video games once a week, and everybody will be happy. And hell, if this becomes a giant thing and I become a mega star, maybe I'll do 2 episodes a week. Maybe 3. So keep that in mind. If you want more, make me popular and just throw a lot of money my way. Alright guys, Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take it easy.